want me to gavel like I did that one time? Call this meeting of the Monticello City Council to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we will be led in prayer with Brian Rayner.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God, we thank you so much tonight for these men and women who are here who care so much about this community. We ask your blessing upon them. We ask your blessing upon this community, every family, every business, every student. God, we know that in the book of James, it tells us that if any of us lacks wisdom, we can ask you, and you will give abundantly. And so tonight, as decisions are made and things are discussed, I pray that we seek your wisdom and your clarity to guide this community to be the best that it can be. God bless each and every person for their time and their energy tonight. We ask all this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. May I have a motion to nominate a mayor pro tem in Mayor Stoner's absence? Anybody?
I nominate John Brooks.
Have a second? Second. Sam Harlan, second. Second is for John Ferris to be mayor pro tem. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There you are, sir.
Computer on. Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Mr. Ferris.
Here.
Ms. Stevens? Here. Ms. Harlan? Here. Mr. Reed?
Here.
Ms. Vogt? Here. Mr. Brock?
Here.
Mr. Burris? Mr. Kuhn?
Yes. Here.
Quorum?
Thank you. Do we have anybody signed up?
We do not.
Anybody remote?
We do not.
Well, then I will go down to consent agenda, approval of documents and action items as listed. Meeting minutes, city council meeting minutes, February 22nd, 2021. Historic Preservation Commission meeting minutes, September 1, 2020. Historic Preservation Commission meeting minutes, February 2, 2021. Claims report, claims dated February 23rd, 2021 through March 8th, 2021. Permit report, February 2021. Fire report, 2021. Police report, February 2021. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? And a second?
Second.
Any questions?
I did notice one misspelling on the September 1 historical preservation. It should be Maury Williamson. So,
Okay, I will let her know.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, take a vote, please.
Mr. Rex?
Yes, please.
Ms. Stevens?
Yes.
Ms. Harlan?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Vogt?
Yes.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Kuhn?
yes.
Motion passes. I was notified we do have someone that wants to participate remotely.
Fantastic. All right, we will go back up to public participation, remote participation. This is an opportunity for the public to provide public comment to the presiding officer. The public comments must comply with ordinance 2014-02 and be limited to 5 minutes or less. At this time, members of the public are able to attend public meetings by web conference and to submit public comment by email, voicemail, and through web conference. Go.
Chief, will you make sure the microphone is on? The microphone is on.
Yeah.
Mr. Streffler?
Yes,
Okay, you can go ahead and speak.
thank you. Just very briefly, I noticed that there's a motion in front of you tonight to sell excess equipment. and I noticed that the fire department trailer is mentioned, but it's rather vague as to how it's going to be sold, where it's going to be sold, and for how much. So I'd appreciate you to elaborate on that when discussion occurs on that agenda item. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Mayor's report, is this still in there? Anything else?
No, that is not going to, there's no mayor's report tonight, and that is for your
Okay,
appointment.
gotcha. Down to new business, mayoral appointment, amending the 30-acre multi-use outdoor recreation committee. Let me just read it. Dear City Council members, I find it necessary to amend the 30-acre multi-use outdoor recreation committee by adding Lindsay Blickensmith staff to that committee with the same considerations and conditions as the original motion to approve this committee at the February 22nd, 2021 City Council meeting. Sincerely, Larry Stoner, Mayor, City of Monticello. You need a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any questions regarding the addition? Seeing none, I'll take a vote, please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Ms. Harlan?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Vogt?
Yes.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
And Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on, ordinance 2021-13, an ordinance declaring surplus property and authorizing the purchase of property. Terry or Chief?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Fire Chief Rupke has identified several pieces of equipment that the fire department deems in surplus and not in need right now. Some of those had to deal with that Savoy transaction where we purchased at a discounted rate some self-breathing apparatuses. So some of that has to deal with that. Some of it's going to be donated because you can't sell it. And I'll ask Chief Ruppy to elaborate on that, as well as the trailer mentioned earlier. So, Chief?
All right. The 2,200 PSI self-containing breathing apparatus bottles, they're at the end of their life. So we got with ISI, the Illinois Fire Institute, and donating the bottles to them. In trade, they're going to give us $4,000 worth of training, which is approximately $100.
Oh.
Awesome to get. So we're really getting something back for those bottles, and we can't really use them anymore because they've pretty much run their life. They're good for 15 years. After that, they cannot be reused. So we're getting $4,000 worth of training on them. The fill station we had is the fill station that we had to fill this 2,200 bottles, 2,200 PSI bottles, and we needed the larger fill station to fill our new 4,500 PSI bottles. And that fill station is, I've been here 26 years, and that thing's been here before me. So it wasn't a matter of when it was going to fail. It was going to fail. So we decided we were going to donate that to hopefully a fire department within Pike County. We had our firefighters, Pike County Firefighter Association meeting last Tuesday, and we put that out to the members. Seymour Fire Department would like to have that old compressor. So it's nice to keep it, give it to somebody who could really use it. And so Seymour, once we get approval tonight, hopefully we can donate that to Seymour's Fire Department. The Rescue One mobile self-breathing apparatus fill station. Again, that fill station was meant to fill 2,200 PSI bottles. So we contacted the manufacturer who manufactured that fill station, and they're willing to trade us. They feel right now it's depreciated to about $4,800, and they're willing to trade and make us some bottle racks, 21 unit bottle rack, a 9-unit bottle rack, and a 6-unit bottle rack, which is about $4,800 in trade. So the spot where we had the fill station on the Rescue, we're going to put all our new bottles in there. It'll be filled and ready to go. The 6 fill station we'll put on engine 3, and we'll have bottles ready to go there. And then the 9 fill station we'll keep in the firehouse for the excess bottles. And the trailer, we've determined we really don't use that trailer for much anymore. We hadn't really used it for much in the past. And it kind of just sits out in the weather and we really have no use for it anymore. We were waiting for approval tonight before we really made any recommendations on how much it would be worth or how we're going to do it. I imagine we'll put it on Facebook and put it out there, but we'll determine, we'll go over to HW and determine the value of it and then put that out on Facebook. So, and see what kind of response we get from that. So, and then we'll take whatever we get in value for that and put it towards equipment for the fire department. Does anybody have any questions? I think we're getting good value for what we're disposing of. A lot of it's obsolete and we're getting value back on it. So I'm pretty pleased with what we're getting.
Yeah, I would think receiving the free training is definitely worth its weight.
Absolutely.
You're getting, that's for sure.
And the bottle racks and all that. Then if we can get some money back for that trailer and use it towards more equipment, that would be great. So, and to be able to give that fill station to Seymour and let them have something. Talking to Trevor, who's on the Seymour Fire Department, he says theirs is over 40 years old. So he said, even if we give them one, it's going to be an upgrade for them. So I'm pretty pleased we can get somebody to really use it.
Thank you, Chief. Can I get a motion to waive second reading? Ordinance 2021-13.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please.
Mr. Frantz,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Harlan,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Boat,
Yes.
Mr. Brock,
Yes.
and Mr. Coon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 2021-13, an ordinance declaring surplus property and authorizing the purchase of property? Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Seeing none, vote please.
Mr. Frantz,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Harlan,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Boat, Mr. Brock,
Yes.
Mr. Coon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to Aldermen's and Alderwoman's report. Mary?
I just want to thank Chief Rupke. I noticed in reading the meeting minutes, just what a nice job you've done of repurposing some of that equipment and then getting value back, as you stated. I know that's not always easy, so thank you for that.
Wendell?
Want to thank the city crew for starting the brush pickup promptly. It looks like they made considerable progress, at least down my end of town. I think it looked good. Hope to get an update from Terry in a little while on how our burner situation is going. Also, if you have the opportunity, if you know the gentleman or want to meet the gentleman at 107 Main, Bespoke, the laser engraving company, stepped up this week, and due to my being able to look down on the world from the top of the courthouse, noticed that he this week installed solar panels completely across the roof of that building.
Awesome.
And I think that's a great step forward. He is the only business I know of on the square that has taken that step. But he has completely covered the roof of it with new solar panels. So a great step forward. And I don't know whether he owns the building or leases it or whatever, but whoever's there has stepped up and made a big investment. So it looks good. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mike?
Nothing tonight.
Tom?
Wanted to echo what Wendy said about getting the brush crew out this month and just getting that started up, and I think it was over. Appreciate that.
Pam?
Nothing from me.
Tammy?
Nothing from me.
Nothing from myself as well. Police chief's report?
You saw the numbers. They're looking it's pretty similar to last year. So a few things are up, some are down. But that's the way the police business works. We have closed our position for police officers. So now we're going to be going into testing and interviewing. There are 12 people who applied and will be testing on Saturday. Then whoever passes that test will go on to interviews. So So looking hopeful that we can get two out of this process and be up to step.
Was that as many as you were expecting, hoping for?
Well, I'm hoping for more,
It's still,
but I was 100, but we never.
it seems like quite a bit to me.
But the 12 is the most we've had since I've
Good. Thank you. Anything else?
been. That's everything.
All right, Fire Chief.
Thank you. We had our 3 trainings last month, and the first week we had Kirby Ambulance come out. We went through all their rigs and got familiar with where everything's at. It's always important when you're on a scene and kind of know when they need something, we know exactly where it's at. So we went through their rigs, and the next week we went through fire behavior and scene size up. And we redid all our SOGs, our standard operating guidelines. And each meeting, we go over a couple so that we get through them all and review them with all our firefighters. The last week we did building maintenance and vehicle maintenance. And I want to give a thank you to Carla Crawford. Carla's been kind of like our house mother, and she comes over and volunteers and cleans and takes notes at all my meetings and submits them to me so I can keep a record of them. And on the third week, she made dinner for all the firefighters, which was it was like a 6-course meal. It was awesome. And every meeting she brings some kind of snack, some kind of cake or pie or whatever. She's just been super awesome. And so we really appreciate her. I also want to give a thank you out to Lowe's. We got a grill donated to the fire department, pretty nice grill. And so why they decided to do that, don't know, but it showed up. They called and said, hey, we got a grill to donate. So it's awesome. So when we have our, hopefully we'll get back to having our open house. We usually end up grilling hot dogs and things like that. So that'll be great to have that. Also want to thank Line and Fall Photography. He is a firefighter in a town west of Bloomington, and he, for free, goes around to different departments, takes pictures of the firefighters and group pictures to submit to the fire department so we can have them. I thought that was really nice. We're getting those pictures. Once we get a badge, Chief, I know we talked about making some more badges, so we'll get those to you. But I think it takes maybe a month and a half to get his pictures. He goes around to everybody. So we really appreciate that. Also, like I said, we had the Pike County Firefighters Association meeting a couple weeks ago, attended by myself, John Mullen, and Cole Hunt. One of the things we voted on, Champaign County was donating a smoke trailer. So we decided as a county-wide association is to take their smoke trailer. They're getting a new one. We have to do a little bit of rehab on it. And I think it'll be a great thing for our open house. You smoke it up, not real smoke, but you have a smoke machine. Kids get to go through it, kind of get a feel for what it's like, how to get out of this place, how to get out of this trailer. Atwood has been gracious enough to store it. So they're going to store the trailer. And then when each department needs this trailer for demonstration, we hitch it onto a truck and bring it over here. So we'll let you know how that goes. We're going to take a look at it and see what kind of rehab that needs on it. So I thought that was kind of neat. We ran 33 calls in February. We're at a total of 68 calls for the year. And that's about all I had to report. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Chief. Moving on to City Administrator's report, Mr. Terry Summers.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I just a couple of things to the brush pickup. Residents we'll continue to do that the first Tuesday of the month. It's too wet out there to open that landfill to the residents, so you can't go to the landfill yet. And I know the forecast this week's got some rain in it. So obviously we'll pick it curbside up, take it out there, and then with our trucks and equipment, we can get out of stuff. The burner, I know Jim has ordered it. I don't know when we will get the delivery of it. I know that the Public Works Department borrowed a grappler rake from the city of Urbana to put on one of our pieces of equipment. I can't remember if it was a backhoe or the end loader. That's a piece of equipment that we'll put on our equipment. We need to purchase one. reach in, grab the yard waste and then put it in the burner. So we tested one out. The guys thought it would work well. It did work well when we tested it. So that's a good thing. Planning a zoning board meeting next Monday for the rezoning annex, preliminary plan and rezoning of a 9-acre parcel on North State Street. That'll come to you guys the following Monday, March 22nd. And then I'll be getting with Chief Carter and Lieutenant Jones, I think, about the nuisance ordinance, how tall the grass needs to be, yard clippings, so on and so forth. We talked about it last year. The attorney's got us a new ordinance. We've kind of been tweaking it for a little while, but I hope to get that to you possibly next council meeting before we get rolling into the mowing activity. So that's all I have tonight.
Does that also include grass clippings out into the street?
Yep,
Anything else?
that's it.
Thank you, Terry. Any questions for the city administrator? Anything else for the good of the cause? As he might say, right? Seeing none, I would take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So move.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you so much.